Ladies and gentlemen, before we start today's video, we are finally going to get to review the brand new Fruity Stripe Gum flavored G Fuel. I say this with much excitement because I was waiting forever to try this, and then when it finally came out, I was sick, but I can finally taste again, so let's go. So if you got the collector's edition, not only did you get this box, but they gave us some other goodies as well. We got the tub, we got some like crock charms, and then we got this rad shaker. For anybody asking like whose flavor this is, I think it's just Rainbow Six. Kinda smells like my childhood. It's there and it's not. Really good. I just can't describe the flavor. It tastes strawberry-ish. One of those things where I really think you gotta try it for yourself. I'd say it's like a 7.5 out of 10. Anyway, what is crack-a-lackin', everybody? Today we are going to be reacting to more Madden 24 ratings. Again, not really sure how many categories I'll get done, but I'll do the ones that I think people primarily want to see. Plugs of the day are obviously G Fuel and Prize Picks. Don't forget to use code WyattzWorld to save yourself a discount or match up to $100 of your first deposit. Code Wyatt10 will also save you a discount on any Waggle merchandise. Link is in the description. But that's all I got, so let's hop right into Madden 24 Player Rating Reactions Part 2. Okay, so let's get going right out the gate, starting with tight ends today. Last time, by the way, for those who missed part 1, it's wide receiver, running backs, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks. Anyway, the top rated tight end in the game was Travis Kelce at a 99, and that is extremely deserved. Anything else would have been incorrect. Kittle at a 96, I like. Mark Andrews at a 95. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. TJ Hawkinson at a 90, good. Dallas Goedert at an 89, good. Pitts at an 87, you know, some people think that's overrated. I definitely don't. Then we got Darren Waller at an 86. I actually think that's very fair, and I'm shocked Madden put him at that. I thought they were gonna give him like a 92 still. Pat Freiermuth at an 85 is cool, and Njoku at an 84. Honestly, I think might be a little bit slightly underrated, but it's not terrible. And exactly the same thing I just said for David about Evan Ingram. You know, 84 isn't terrible, but it's slightly underrated, I think. Then kicking off page 2, we got Dawson Knox at an 83 overall. That's good. Zach Ertz at an 83. That's good. I think I would have given him an 82 or something like that. Dalton Schultz at an 82. That is underrated. I think he's like an 86 or an 87. Not sure why they gave him that, but all right. Gerald Everett at an 82. That's pretty fair. Hunter Henry at an 81. A little bit underrated, but not bad. And the same exact for Gesicki at an 81. Little bit underrated, but not bad. I think those guys are both like 83, 84s. Then we got Hayden Hurst at an 80. I think that's underrated. I know why they gave him an 80, but I think it's underrated, honestly. Higbee at an 80 is criminal. He's an 85, 86. Komet at a 79, slightly underrated too. I think that's like a, you know, low 80 kind of guy. He really proved himself last year. And Noah Fant at a 78 is, no respect from my boy. One more page of tight ends, though. We got Tyler Conklin at a 78. A little bit underrated as well. He should be like an 80, man. He is a pretty good tight end. Tanyan at a 77. Honestly, that's pretty fair nowadays. Will Dissly at a 77 is fine. Uzama at a 76, I think, is underrated. He should be an 80. Kincaid at a 76 is cool. Irv Smith at a 75 is laughable. He should be like a 52 overall. I hate Irv. He's such a piece of shit. He was just absolutely dog for the Vikings, man. Juwan Johnson, 75, cool. Michael Mayer, 75, cool. Foster Moreau, 74, cool. And Dolchich at a 74, cool. Now, I know it may have sounded like I had to correct a lot of those, but they weren't significantly bad. There were only a handful that I thought were, you know, really out of place. Otherwise, kinda honest. All right, next category will be linebackers, and the top linebacker in the game is Fred Warner at a 96. That's cool, whatever. Max Crosby at a 94. That's fine, slightly underrated, but I'll deal with it. TJ Watt at a 94, I understand it, but I don't get why Aaron Donald still got a 99 then, considering he missed, you know, half a season. Roquan at a 92, seems low, but I feel like it's good. Joey Bosa at a 91, again, seems low, but I feel like it's good. Levante David at a 91, all right. Demario Davis at a 90, okay. Hassan Reddick at a 90. Bobby Wagner at an 89, yeah, that's fine. Matthew Judon at an 89. And then we move on to page 2. Matt Milano at an 88. I think that's fair. Rashawn Gary at an 88. I think that's fair. Brian Burns at an 87. Daniil Hunter at an 87. Cool. Nick Bolton at an 87. Feels a little bit underrated, but it's probably fine. Tremaine Edmonds at an 87. Cool. Dre Greenlaw at an 86. Cool. Shaq Leonard at an 86. CJ Mosley at an 85, fine. Campbell at an 85, cool. And that brings us to page 3, where we got Eric Kendricks with an 85. I think that's respectful. Josh Allen at an 85. That feels absurdly low. Khalil Mack at an 85, I get it. Feel like he's still a little bit higher, but I get it. I murder this guy's name every time I say it, and I really don't even want to try it. But an 84 doesn't seem that off. It seems slightly low too, like maybe one low, but okay. Juwan Bentley at an 84, fine. Logan Wilson at an 84, fine. Shaq Thompson at an 84, fine. Jalen Phillips at an 83. That feels slightly low. Randy Gregory at an 83. I feel like he was ass last year, so that might be fine. And finally at the bottom, we got Alex Highsmith at an 82. Okay, so linebackers were weird because there wasn't a lot that were wrong, but the ones that were wrong were really fucking wrong. So like, I don't know what that was all about. All right, next category we're gonna do is safeties. So the number 1 safety in the game is Derwin James at 95 overall. I think his rating's fine, but I don't think he's the number 1 safety. I think they got to flip-flop because I think Minka actually deserves a spot. I think Minka should be like a 97. Moving on from those two, we got Justin Simmons at a 92, cool. Kevin Byard or Byard at 92, that's cool. Jesse Bates at a 91, that's cool. Feels a little underrated, I guess. Tyrann Mathieu at a 91, fine. Buda Baker at a 90. Feels kind of low, but I get it. Harrison Smith at a 90. Honestly, that's generous. He's still a high 80, but a 90, I mean, that's pretty generous. Jordan Poyer at a 90. Obviously, I feel like that's underrated. I feel like some people do as well, though. He is a really, really good safety. He deserves to be like a 93. And then, however, I'm going to dispute Micah Hyde's rating at an 89, considering he missed the entire season last year, so I'm not sure he still deserves to be that high, but I would have still given Micah an 85 at least. Then starting on page 2, we have Jamal Adams. I think 88 is fair now. That's what I would have given him if he would have been healthy, though. I don't think he's that elite. I think he's above average, but I don't think he's that elite anymore. Marcus Williams at an 88, that's good. Antoine Winfield Jr. at an 87, that's good. Jimmy Ward at an 87, he might deserve a 90. I'm not gonna lie, I think he's really good. Quandre Diggs at an 87, he might deserve a 90 as well. I feel like he was really slept on. Kyle Duggar at an 86, fine. Let's go for it, Wyatt. Talanoa Hufanga at an 86, fine. Eddie Jackson at an 85, might have given him like an 87. CJ Gardner-Johnson at an 84, that's absurd. Should be like an 88, 89 at least. And Javon Holland at an 84, that also seems slightly low. All right, then starting page 3, we got Adrian Amos at an 83. What the fuck? That seems absurd. Did he do something? Am I missing something? I would have at least thought 86, 87 for him. Anyway, Jabril Peppers, 83, also a little underrated. Cameron Curl at an 83, fine. Marcus May at an 83, fine. Von Bell at an 83, fine. Derek Forrest at an 82 is hysterical. Kyle Hamilton at an 82, cool. Malik Hooker at an 82, cool. Adrian Phillips at an 81, fine. Donovan Wilson at an 81, I can live with it. Why did Derek Forrest get this, though? That's ridiculous. I know I hate on Washington a lot, but I know their defense is good, and I know that this guy is one of the most underappreciated players in the league, apparently even more so now. 4 picks, 9 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 56 solo tackle. Like, what did you want? Safeties weren't bad, but they weren't terrific by any means. All right, now moving on to the next category, I combined defensive tackles and defensive ends, so we're just going to be doing D-linemen. So we all know how I feel about Aaron Donald still being a 99. That is egregious. We're not rating him off of his entire career, guys. Myles Garrett at a 98 is cool. Nick Bosa at a 98, I think he should be a 99. Parsons at a 97, that's fine. Chris Jones at a 96 is cool. Dexter Lawrence at a 95 is cool. Von Miller at a 94, I think that honestly, I would have probably only given him like a 92, so I'm happy with that. Cam Hayward at a 93, fine. Quinnen Williams at a 93. For defensive tackles, Jonathan Allen at a 92, that's underrated as well. Page 2, we got DeMarcus Lawrence at a 90, that's fine. Jeffrey Simmons at an 89, feels a little slightly underrated. Vita Vea at an 88, that is underrated. Cameron Jordan at an 87, slightly underrated as well. DJ Reader at an 87, fine. Trey Hendrickson at an 87, fine. Christian Wilkins at an 86, fine. DeForest Buckner at an 86. Grady Jarrett at an 86, slightly underrated. Kenny Clark at an 86, I think he's an 88. Now we're on to page 3. Calais Campbell, 85, cool. Chase Young, 85, cool. Grover Stewart, 85, cool. Zadarius Smith, 85, even though I hate his guts, slightly underrated. Derek Brown, 84, Feel like that's underrated. Greg Russo at an 84, that is underrated slightly. Him and Derek Brown are probably both an 86. Javon Hargrave at an 84, why does that feel insulting? Josh Sweat at an 84 is fine. Dayron Payne at an 83 is fine. And John Franklin Myers at an 83, whatever. Now, I'm not going to go all the way through pages 4 and 5, but I do want to point out that two guys specifically on page 4 I think got absolutely shithoused. Those two happen to be Aiden Hutchinson at an 81 and Ed Oliver at an 81. Like, why so low? Yeah, Jalen Carter is going to get nearly the same rating and he hasn't even played a game yet? Like, come on. I feel like there was a lot of defensive linemen that kind of just got snubbed. Anyway, guys, that is all I got for today's video because I gotta go make an NFC West skit right now. And then I'm gonna try my absolute hardest to hop on Twitch later this afternoon. So if you're seeing this, there's a chance that I'm gonna be live. As always, though, you guys know how to show me any support and I appreciate each and every one of you. So have a fantastic weekend. As always, I will see you in the next video.